Hello, friends. In continuation of my this IPR series, I'm taking the remaining questions. We have already talked about the previous questions that were related to this intellectual property rights, and we have discussed them thoroughly. And now we will talk about the remaining questions. As you can see in your screen, the questions are mainly related to the registration process of patent, copyright, and trademark. And we will, in the last, we will talk about the GAT. What is GAT? And we will talk about that in detail. Okay, now first of all, we will take the question number 19, that is explain patent registration process. So how this process of registration is done. So for example, if you want to patent your innovation or idea or anything, then for that, first of all, what will you do? So the first step is filing of patent application. So for filing of that application, what people do is that they take the help of patent agent, or they can do it by their own also. But for increasing the chances of acceptance of the patent by the patent office, you need to take the help of the patent agent, because they are qualified and experienced people. So first of all, what will you do is that we will go for filing of patent application. After the filing of patent application, it will be published, and the publication of the patent will happen. After the publication, the next step will be request for examination. You will do the request for examination. It will not happen by its own. You have to do that after the publication. When you will do the request for examination, then the examination will be done by the patent office. They will do the necessary examination of your patent. What they will do, they mainly they will see it in very detail, whether it is of novelty or non-obviousness, or how much important it is, and all those things related to that. Then after the thorough examination, they will issue the first examination report. Okay, they will issue the first examination report, and when the report will be issued, then you will give the reply to the examination report. When you will give the reply to examination report, then the hearing will be done by the controller. The controller will do the hearing, and after his satisfaction and after the all formalities, you will be granted the patent, and ultimately the publication of grant will happen. So this is the whole process of patent registration. This is all what it need. But obviously it takes time. Every step requires some amount of time. It takes years also to get the patent, and there are some other ways also to get it done very fast. So there are many forms that you have to fill. There are numbers for each kind of form that is required. Even if you want to speed up your process of getting the patent, then you have to fill a particular form. There are different kind of things. It is actually, this patent is a techno legal thing. It involve your scientific knowledge also. If you are a researcher inventor, then you require the technical scientific background, obviously, for explaining your concept, but it is a legal thing also. So you need the legal help also. So it is a techno legal thing. So because of that, all these things require the knowledge of legal things also, and that's why we need the help of patent agents. Okay, after this question, let's move on to the next question. The next question is explain copyright registration process. So as we have already talked about patent registration process, then after and I think that after knowing the patent registration process, you will be able to understand the copyright registration process much easy manner. So for doing that, first of all, what will you do? The same thing. You will first file for the application of copyright registration, and for after filing for the application, there will be a issuance of a diary number. Okay, then you will be issued a diary number, and your after issuance of this diary number, you will wait for objections there, because there will your content will be your content will be scrutinized for any objections and all. So you will wait for the objections. After after the interval of waiting for objection, there will be scrutinization by the examiner. The examiner will scrutinize that, whether there is any objection that is valid, and how whether the valid objection is need to be answered, or what is to be done, all those kind of things. Then after the scrutinization by examiner, there will be issuance of a discrepancy letter. A discrepancy letter will be issued by the office, and after the discrepancy letter, in the discrepancy letter they will mention all the things that they need to know from you. Okay, and after this issuance, you will be heard by the registrar for all of these things, all of the questions and answers that need to be given. Okay, and after hearing and the satisfaction of the registrar and all those processes, the registration will be approved, and after the registration approval, there will be issuance of the copyright registration certificate, and hence the process will complete. Therefore, this was the process for copyright registration. Okay, now let's move on to the next question, and the next question is explain trademark registration process. So this is also similar but somewhat different. Okay, so first of all, what will you do if you want to register your trademark? First of all, you will file the application for trademark registration. Then your application will be examined. When it will be examined, then after examination, there will be issuance of examination report. Okay, and when the report will be issued, then you have to respond to the examination. And after that, the next step will be hearing by the controller. He will hear your answers to all those things that need to be answered, and after that the application proceed to registration. And in the end, what will happen is that you will be issued the trademark registration certificate, and that's all what you need. But it is a time taking process. Obviously, it takes time, and this was the whole steps for registration process. Okay, I hope you got the idea of the registration process for these kind of things: patent, copyright, and trademark. Now let's talk about the last question, that is expand GATT and elaborate it. Okay, what is GATT? GATT stands for the General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade. So this GATT was signed on October 30, 1947 by 23 countries, and was a legal agreement that was made for minimizing barriers to international trade by eliminating or reducing quotas, tariffs, and subsidies while preserving significant regulation. So ultimately, it had the motive of minimizing the barriers and promoting the trade between the international trade between the countries. So the GATT was intended to boost economic recovery after World War II through reconstructing and liberalizing global trade. Okay, the GATT went into effect on January 1, 1948. Since that beginning, it has been refined, eventually leading to the creation of WTO, that is World Trade Organization that we know today. And when the creation of WTO happened on January 1, 1995, which absorbed and extended it. Okay, by the time 125 nations were signatories to its agreement, which covered about 90% of global trade. So the GATT was created to form rules. It was created to form rules to end or restrict the most costly and undesirable features of the pre-war protectionist period, namely quantitative trade barriers such as trade controls and quotas. The agreement also provided a system to arbitrate commercial dispute among nations, and the framework enabled a number of multilateral negotiations for the reduction of tariff barriers. The GATT was regarded as significant success in the post-war years. Okay, so that's all, friends. This was all for this video, and it also marked the end of the series that I started for the information on IPR. And in case you find further any doubt on the topic related to that, then I will make more videos on that. There are much to learn in every topic. Obviously, there are many things to learn, but this is, I think this is sufficient to get a good idea of the topic of IPR. And if you will tell me some more topics, then I will make my video on that also. Okay, friends, thank you so much for giving your time. Thank you.